Hello, happy full moon. Wow. I just want to take a second before we dive into the chart and just pause and invite you. And I'm going to do it with you to just bring a little bit of awareness to your heart space. Maybe it feels good to put a hand there. Take a deep breath in. Hmm. What do you notice about your heart today as you're tuning into this? Take another deep breath. What do you notice about your heart maybe over the last couple of days? What themes are showing up in relationship to you and your heart? What themes are showing up in relationship to you and things you're wanting to create or ways you're wanting to show up in the world that may feel challenging, that may feel out of your comfort zone, that may feel in the realm of impossible, like the dreams you have feel maybe too big or hard to attain, the things you want to create, maybe there are roadblocks. Let's take another deep breath in. I'm going to invite you to just really sink into this present moment and the present moment of the full moon energy that's here, and really just let yourself be right here. Maybe taking a breath of appreciation and gratitude for your heart. Let's breathe that in for a second. Gratitude and appreciation, maybe even some celebration for what you've moved through in the last month to get to where you are right now, maybe the last couple of months. It is a summer with some very unprecedented astrology, cosmic transits. The way that the planets are communicating with each other and to us right now is really, really unique. And it's inviting in lots of new opportunity. But in that space, there can be lots of feelings of overwhelm or fear or anxiety regarding change, regarding the unknown, feeling like maybe you're asked to step into some different spaces, maybe different roles, maybe different locations, and there is uncertainty that's lingering in all of it. All of this is, I would say, normal to be expected in this unexpected time. So much is transitioning, so much is shifting at a foundational level under our feet. And so, for anyone who is intuitive at all, or a feeler or connected, you're going to really be picking up, even with extra charge, on some of these really major shifts that aren't just for our lifetimes. These are for the next 7 generations and beyond. So it's just huge. And that can feel overwhelming. So coming back to this present moment, maybe with a breath now, letting yourself just be here, be with this week, be with this full moon, and let's let it move us. So I'm gonna share my screen, pull this up. This is the Aquarius full moon that's happening on Wednesday, July 29th, here in the Pacific Northwest, and on the West Coast it's happening 7:36 a.m. Correlate that timing to wherever you're tuning in from. So let's look at this. We know a full moon means that the sun is going to be opposite the moon. So the sun is at 6 degrees of Leo in 30 minutes. The moon is at 6 degrees of Aquarius in 30 minutes, forming this opposition. They are as far away as they could be from each other in the sky, but they are making eye contact and they're wanting to have a conversation. Now, the sun, the life force, the gasoline that fuels our bodies, is in the sign of Leo. Leo rules the heart. And for all of the things that Leo is not, is how I would say this, Leo, in its wisdom, creates with so much passion and charisma and vitality when it is centered in its heart space and specifically in what is authentically true from that space, which is why I kind of had a start in our hearts. This entire Leo season, we're about 6 days in at the timing of the full moon. This entire Leo season is going to give you information. The sun is going to be shining, bringing awareness and literally light to the area of Leo energy, which is what are you here to create? Not because you have to, but like, what's your soul mission? What's your soul purpose? What are you here doing? That might come in waves of clarity of more grandiose, like longevity of your lifetime, but it also may just be a really beautiful reminder in this month, in this Leo season, to come back to what feels true, what brings you purpose, to create from there, to create your day from your heart, to create your day from that space that feels authentically true. It's a really beautiful energy. And the thing about Leo is that because it's so in its heart space, there's a magnetism to it. People are drawn to it, they see it. So there is this correlation with Leo of being seen, of being kind of in the spotlight that automatically happens when we're just in our life force energy, when we're in that heart center, when we're in just like what actually feels authentically true and right in our creation and our passion. On the opposite side of this is the moon, and the moon is the body. So I like to see the moon as like the body, it's the emotions, it's the way the feelings move through us in the temple, in the vehicle of this vessel, this body. And the sun is the life force energy that runs through it. It's the gasoline that fuels it. So the moon being in Aquarius is really calling in a very specific it's a very specific energy that shows up for each of us in the ways where we feel maybe like we're unique or we're different somehow than other outside of us. It gets us really in. Sometimes when it's feeling self-conscious, Aquarius can feel like the outsider or the outcast, the exile. But really, it's kind of got that rebellious spirit to it because it's almost this sign that's like ahead of the times. It's bringing in fresh, different things, not in the status quo ways, ideas, perspectives that are a little bit more from like the outsider's perspective. I like to feel this archetype a lot of times as like the wild woman rising inside of me. What would she do if she was just going to be unapologetically herself and using the wisdom of the opposite sign, be in her heart and really shine from what is authentic, but allowing herself to be different, Aquarius, to bring in different ways of doing things, new ideas, fresh perspectives. And the other thing about Aquarius is in its wisdom, it knows we're all interconnected, that we're connected as a collective. And it's using the wisdom of knowing that interconnectedness. What's coming to mind right now as I feel into that is it's the way that the trees connect under the ground. Their roots are so interconnected. They communicate through the mycelium networks. And where one is lacking in magnesium or potassium, another one who has extra just sends it through the roots. Like there is just this very beautiful collaboration and interconnection. And the trees don't even think about it or worry about, like, oh, I'm going to give my magnesium. What if I'm out? Because they know that they're connected and that they will be resourced through another brother or sister in the forest. So it's a really beautiful earth wisdom space that so much of humanity at large, I feel, has maybe in some ways forgotten. And yet we are remembering. There are ones of us that are remembering this. So this full moon is really asking a couple of things. It's really asking one, in this present moment, what's feeling authentically true in your heart? And waves from especially July. You can tune into my last moon map. I talk about the sextiles that were forming all through July from the outer planets and kind of what that's ushering in on an evolutionary level for each of us. So we've gotten a lot of information here in this July, and as the month closes, the moon's then asking, okay, so what do you want to start doing with it? What feels authentic to you? What feels like a way you actually want to create with this energy and participate and collaborate with it? I think another thing that's really important to mention is that we have some planets also involved closely with this full moon. One of them, we'll start here, is Jupiter merging with the sun to the degree, all 5 minutes away. They're so close. Jupiter at 6 degrees of Leo. Jupiter brings, it's like a magnifying glass that's really like as if the sun and the life force and the light wasn't enough. There's this magnifying glass that's just like, look right here. There's something really important to be seen in your heart space, in your creations right now. What ideas are coming through? Pay attention. What's making you really feel alive and authentic and like there's passion? Pay attention to that. You'll know when it's time to take a step with it, but like first we notice, we locate it and we notice and we hone in on it and we foster loving awareness around it and we nourish the idea. We let it move through us. So that's one piece. Jupiter really assisting in that. The other piece is that we have Pluto merging with the moon. And Pluto, I spoke on this last time. I've been seeing Pluto so much as this shaman who's holding space for the evolution of human consciousness. And in Aquarius, just doing that like on a whole nother significant level of just saying, you guys, you are one, you're interconnected. Let yourselves like let yourselves advance into the knowing and the wisdom of the interconnectedness. Don't rip yourselves and keep just chasing like I'm feeling like artificial intelligence and like yeah, I'm sure AI, but literally like artificial, like fake wisdom, stuff that just isn't even real, that's not even from Earth. Like come back to what is real, come back to what is true. So this could really show up for us in our bodies this week because this Pluto is merging with the moon, the body. So I would just say pay extra attention to what little things are showing up for you. For me, I've got a little thing going on in my right eye, which has been really interesting to just kind of like notice and feel into and ask my eye, like, what are you trying to tell me through this discomfort that's here? And there's been all kinds of really interesting things as we're building up to the new moon with that, or the full moon, excuse me. So pay attention to what your body's saying. Get quiet and sit with it. Ask it, not just like what is the like not just noticing the base level maybe discomfort or dis-ease that you're experiencing, or maybe it's comfort and ease, but really kind of like sinking in a little bit deeper to like, why, body, are you showing me this right now? And then listening. So those are some really significant pieces. I also just want to point out, it felt beautiful to just name that Juno is here too. And Juno and Pluto have been dancing really close together. So especially for the feminine energy, as Juno, she rules soul contracts and partnerships. But she also, if you've worked with me at all, you know I'm going to always say that originally in her myth, before she became the ruler of partnerships and was married to Zeus and all of this, she actually ruled as queen who was sovereign with no counterpart. And so there's this draw underneath all of this too of like coming back to your sovereignty, coming back to like merging with other from a place of centered, heart centered, authentic, grounded, this is who I am, unapologetic energy. It's just really important to keep that underneath all of this and own it, really own it. So the other kind of last piece here that I feel like is really important to just name with this full moon is that today, actually, as I'm recording this, but yeah, the Sunday before the full moon, the nodes will have just shifted. So, where the South Node has been in Virgo for the last 18 months, it has just shifted into Leo. And where the North Node has been in Pisces for the last 18 months, it has just finished that journey and shifted into Aquarius. So, what does this mean? The nodes rule the karmic cycles, the kind of destiny, the what is releasing or letting go or integrating from the past, and what are we stepping into? What are we opening into? What are we saying yes to that is a new story? So the South Node always is representing the past and where we're coming from in a certain space, whatever constellation it's in. The North Node is always opposite the South Node, ruling what are we moving into? Where are we stepping out of our comfort zones and saying yes to something different, to a change, to a new way of being? So can you feel how potent it is that the nodes would shift signs like this, and then just a couple of days later, we'd have a full moon also in these signs? It's really highlighting the beginning of this new nodal cycle. So in this lens, I would really invite you to take note and to take stock of what is showing up for you this week because it's actually showing you a lot of themes around what the next 18 months are going to look like as the nodes are in this new journey. So, when the South Node was in Virgo, we were releasing perfectionism. We were releasing a lot of anxious attachments or feeling like we need to do things perfect in order to get to check the box, to succeed, to be enough. So we've learned a lot of lessons there in releasing that inner perfectionist and that inner critic and deepening into the wisdom of verb that is, I am whole, I am enough because I breathe. And then we're taking this to another level as the South Node comes into Leo, and it's releasing any other remnants when it comes to creation, creativity, what you're here for in your purpose to be with passion, with aliveness from your heart, from your authenticity. It's going to just require, these next 18 months are going to just require this deepening into what is my relationship with creativity that feels authentic and true and good, not creating because I have to, not creating on some perfectionistic, regimented kind of way, like polished, poised. And I'm not saying that any of that is bad, but there's this kind of like invitation to shake things up a little bit, to get clear and just like create for the play of it, to release these old ways of needing to create to look a certain way, like maybe shadow side of Leo, and to just continue to get clear on creating from the heart and letting that heart medicine just move you forward. It may take you a different place than your brain has thought you were going. It may take you to a different place that a lot of your plans maybe thought you were going. And it's just going to keep inviting you, heart, come back to the heart, come back to the heart. If we come over here to the opposite, this North Node in Aquarius, in Pisces, the North Node was just continuing to invite us to surrender our control, to trust in the divine, to trust in God, Goddess, that something bigger is holding us, is guiding us, is moving us. And there was just so much of that invitation to just surrender again, the perfection, and just come into grace, come into compassion, come into the messiness a bit. And that journey continues as the North Node shifts into Aquarius, which is again, we processed so much of this as I presence the moon part, but inviting you, come into the places where you're unique. Maybe people aren't doing it this way and it's really different. And it even creates some insecurities because you feel so different or you feel so unique. You are the only you that will ever be here. There will never be, there's never, ever, ever before in all of history. And then from now until however the whole cycle of humans on Earth goes, like there will never be another you. That is your DNA, your energy makeup, your soul story, your cells, your blood. So knowing and kind of starting this journey with this new nodal shift in centering in the glory of your uniqueness, in the beauty that makes you different, and then navigating your day to day, your life from there, your creativity from there. And then maybe playing with, as the journey continues, letting some people in and letting some people see those parts of you. I think it's really important to mention as we close, one, you have so much time with these nodes in this place. This is just like a little taster with the full moon. But two, the moon itself, the moon, the full moon, and the sun are squaring. Let's see the red lines here. They're squaring. It's really this Chiron here in Taurus. And so there very well may be wounds, as Chiron is the wounded healer, wounds that show up in ways that have made you want to hide and not shine in the past because of feeling like you'll be abandoned, you'll be betrayed, you won't fit in anymore, you'll lose your community, you'll lose your stability, you'll lose your finances, your resources, Taurus. There could be a lot of very justifiable fears why not to be uniquely you and why not to shine your actual heart and your light and your authentic truth to the world. So I think it's really important to say again, we have time. And the wisdom of Chiron is that his deepest wound was his medicine. It ended up being the thing that was his healing, and it was the healing of his community too. So knowing you're not going to die, I mean, you are going to die, but you know what I'm saying. You're not going to die by taking the risk. There may be change. There will always be consequences one way or another from just living. But I think that the universe and through this July of just bringing in opportunities, like really let yourself sit with the opportunities that are showing up for you, really sitting with the changes that are naturally showing up around you that are for you, that are for your evolution, that are for your good, that are going to bring more ease, more abundance, more wisdom, more embodiment. It's really important to use our deep listening right now for all of that. So that's what I'll say for now. Please share in the comments how this is hitting you. If you want to dive deeper in any of this at all, I have readings available. You can schedule and purchase via my website, which is linked below. So grateful to be on the planet with you, doing this, doing the dance, moving through the stuff. And may this full moon bring lots of illumination and clarity to your heart and who you really came here to be. So deep love. Well, bye for now.